absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. The estate that we stay on is absolutely gorgeous. It's owned by a whole bunch of yogis. Hey, David, I just saw you jumped in online. But the Himalayan Institute is run by the yogis as well. So they practice a bit of a more traditional style of yoga than what we do. So we'll actually do some little workshops while we're there. The workshops are like an hour and a half. We only do one of them per day, so don't worry, it's not all day. But they're going to teach us about some of the more traditional styles of yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga, the Yoga Sutras, like really the origin story and the background. But what's really cool is that at the end of the week, Lisa Taylor, the studio owner and founder, she's going to do a workshop that shows you how these traditional styles of yoga actually connect to our, what I'd call a more modern style of yoga. So all of the methodology that you see, the sequence that we practice, all of it is really rooted in these traditional styles. And for me, it was the first time that I really got to see how these things meld together. Obviously, I get to talk to Lisa a lot because she's my mom, but she's definitely taken a long time to explain this stuff to me before, and it is really fascinating. So I highly recommend, mainly also because there's a chocolate and coffee processing plant on the estate, and I drank chocolate every single day. It was fantastic. All right, so I'm going to clue you guys in on what we're doing this morning. We're actually going to do a chaturanga-less practice. If you're dying to get in some chaturangas, you're like, oh, I just really push-ups today. That's exactly what I want. That's fine. But you can take on those variations. Listen, I don't know. Some of you guys might be dying for a push-up. But this practice, everybody, you injure your shoulder, your upper back, your arm, and at some point in your practice, you're going to need to modify it. So I think it's a really valuable skill to cultivate now before you're injured. And no matter what, always listen to your body, listen to what feels good. So we're going to get going in child's pose. Just like usual, take your knees out wide, toes touch at the back of the mat. Walk your fingertips up to the head of your mat. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out. With an inhale, full exhale. Let yourself settle onto the mat. Start creating a deep breath. One that's lengthening your inhales and lengthening your exhales. On your next breath, walk your fingertips in towards your body and sit up. We're going to come to a seated position, so you can choose either to stay sitting here on your heels or cross your ankles and sit crisscross applesauce. No matter what, bring your fingers around the fronts of your knees and then pull back slightly so that your spine is sitting nice and tall here. Close your eyes. Take deep breaths. Start to get connected down through your sits bones into the mat. As you're pulling back through your hands, feel the way that your thigh bones hug into your pelvis. Roll your shoulders up to your ears and then back onto your spine. 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders to your ears. Exhale, drop them back. 1 more time. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, shoulders back. Take a few body circles. Bring your chest out towards the front of your mat and then back into the side. Move with your breath here. Now switch directions. Go counterclockwise or whatever other direction you haven't taken. Take this time to really notice how your body feels this morning, especially at 6 a.m. Sometimes your body has a lot to say, so listen to it. Come back through to center. Bring your right hand down onto the mat beside you. Inhale, lift your left hand up and over. Go for that long side body stretch. Inhale, reach those fingertips up. Exhale, bring your hand back down. Let's lift through the opposite side. Inhale, right fingertips stretch. Exhale, press through your right sits bones. Inhale, one more time, stretch. Exhale, bring your hand back down to the ground. Come through, reach your fingertips forwards and fold. Find the length here from your fingertips all the way back, and don't worry about how deep you can fold. Just see where the stretch is in your body today. Take another deep breath in. Exhale. Come up onto your hands and knees. From here, let's run through cat-cow. So inhale, belly up. Exhale, drop your belly down. Inhale, belly up, really hugging through your front ribs. Exhale, let your belly drop down. From here, come up through downward facing dog and walk your feet up to the top of your mat. So just coming to standing, halfway lift up here. Low belly hugs up and in. On your exhale, hang at ragdoll. Feel that stretch start at your heels and reach the whole way up the back of your legs. This might mean pull your hips forwards 1 more inch. Get all that stretch here. Press your heels into the mat. Roll up to standing. Take extended mountain. Breathe in. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Just like usual, we'll start our class with 3 ohms. Take a breath in. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Put your hands on the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Now, here, take 3 breaths. The option, if you're not able to stay in down dog, is to take a child's pose here. Either way, keep your ujjayi breath moving. Take 1 more big breath in. Exhale. Move feet to hands. Halfway lift. Inhale. Fold on your exhale. Breathe in. Extended mountain. Lift through your fingertips. Fold. Halfway lift. Step back. Downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. Start to find the length in your toes. Lengthen the backs of your legs. Soften your knees. Little bend here. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Walk your feet up to your hands or hop. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain as you breathe in. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift. Step back. Downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. No matter what, start tapping into the vinyasa, the flow of the practice, whether it's in your breath or in your body. Last breath. Take an inhale. Exhale. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Last one. Breathe in. Fold. Halfway lift. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths when you get here. Start to see the tapas building your body. Look for the heat. Press down through your pointer fingers. Last breath in, out, feet to hands. Halfway lift, forward fold. Chair pose, sit low in the chair. Now from here, step back, take warrior one. Inhale, reach those fingertips up, sit low in the lunge. Take 2 breaths here. One more time, in and out. Step your back foot up, reach back through your left foot. Take 3 breaths here. I was talking for the first breath last time. So just as an FYI, you're not getting an extra breath. Last one, big breath in, move to downward facing dog. So this is the option to either hit your chaturanga or just step back for down dog. Take 2 breaths. One more time, in, out, feet to hands. Halfway lift, fold. Chair pose, sit as low as you can go. That's it. Stay. One more breath in. On your exhale, step that foot back into warrior one. Get lower this time so that you're using the back of your thigh to hold you up instead of the top of your thigh pressing down and out. One more breath. That's it. Let's swap sides. Step up and then press back. Warrior two, or warrior one. I really mean it on the left side here. Get as low as you can for your last breath. And then step back, downward facing dog. Up dog into down dog. If you're going through that sequence, take 2 breaths. Press your pointer fingers down into the mat, nice and hard here. So just like this. Last breath in and out, feet to hands. Halfway lift, fold. Chair pose. Sit 3 inches lower this time. So you're really getting into the backs of your thighs, into your glutes. Lift all 10 toes. Step back, warrior one. Right into the pose. See if you can get way lower this time. Yeah, Mary Beth, I see that in you. Take 2 more breaths here. Using the back of your thigh, get as low as you can. Last one. Inhale, come up. Exhale, step back. So next time through, remind me that I want to teach you the fun transition there. Take 1 more breath here. Inhale, reach through your fingertips. Exhale, hands to the mat. Move to downward facing dog. Up dog into down dog. 2 breaths here. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. 3 breaths. Build the heat and the tapas here. You're going to feel the sweat start to drip. That's good stuff. Really reaching into that heat. For the last breath, sit low. Step back. Warrior one. That's it. Now get super low. We're going to charge up this next transition. So get as low as you can. You're going to need that fire in your front leg. Inhale, come up, knee to chest. Oh yeah, I know. Sometimes it takes a bit. Swap out. Come back for the left side now. Take 2 breaths here. 1 more time. In and out. Downward facing dog. Up dog, through down dog if you're going that way. Good stuff. Now, stay for 2 breaths. 1 more time. In, out, feet to hands. Halfway lift, fold. Chair pose, 3 breaths. Get as low as you can through it. Count them here. As you're breathing, stay 2 more. I'm pretty sure, unless we lost one, big breath in, step back, warrior one. Low into the pose. That's it. Yes, or swap sides. It doesn't matter. Listen, you know we're going to hit the second side anyways. So go forwards with whatever foot lands there. Take 1 more breath here. Inhale, exhale, step the front foot up, foot down, and then we'll switch to the back one. I actually think it's a good idea to do the opposite leg. We'll do that next time. Good job, Kelly. Stay for 2 more breaths here. Get lower into that front lunge. I know, I usually don't call it on this leg. Stay as low as you can go. Last one. Switch to downward facing dog. And again, chaturanga, up dog into down dog. It's possible here. Stay for 2 full breaths. You don't have to do a chaturanga-less class. You can make any class chaturanga-less for yourself. Last breath, in, out, feet to hands. Halfway lift, fold, chair pose, sit low. Now you know going into the next warrior one, we're stepping back with our opposite foot first, okay? So your right leg's gonna stay forwards. Last one, step back with your left foot, warrior one, that's it. Low into the lunge, get the back of your leg. 2 breaths here. Look up, drishti through your fingertips. Last breath, on your inhale, knee up into your chest, swap your foot. Press back through the right one, warrior one. See if you can pull your shoulder blades back in together. So just like this, yeah, you've got it. So you're really pulling your spine, eyes up through your fingertips. Stay for 1 more breath. Come back down, chaturanga, or straight to downward facing dog. Up dog through down dog. Take 2 breaths. We'll move through our last sun B here, okay? Take an inhale. Full exhale, feet to hands. Halfway lift, fold. 3 breaths, chair pose. Here it is. Heels down into the mat. Lift all 10 toes. Hug your legs into center line. 1 more breath. Step back, right foot stays up. That's it. Low into the lunge. You've got it. See, now you're up backwards too. Listen, it's all right. It's just yoga. Get as low as you can into this front lunge because we're about to power up. Knee to chest, switch legs, step back, warrior one. This is the last one. So see where you can press into the edge of the pose. That's it, Sarah. You can come down here 1 more inch into that lunge. I've got you. Stay, chaturanga, or straight to down dog. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Now, flip dog is a pose that might not be accessible for your shoulders. So here's what we're going to do instead. Kelly and Nancy, bring your right foot up into the air. Listen, you guys are doing flip dog for me. Bend your top knee, come over, flip dog. For everyone else, sit your bum onto the mat. So we're getting both versions in this classroom. Keep your left hand down. Lift up through your right hand in cactus arm. So you're really looking for the opening across your chest. That's it. Bend your arm and then press backwards through your palm. So everybody, look to create as much space in your right chest as humanly possible. That's it. Everybody using your low belly to support this pose. Last breath here. Come back over, high plank. Everybody goes to side plank. So bottom knee can stay down to support you here, or you can lift that top foot up or go straight to side plank. All the variations are here for you. Everyone, look drishti over your top fingertips. You're getting as high as you can through your top hand. See if you can press that baby up. 1 more breath here. Bring both palms to the mat. Upward facing dog. Into downward facing dog, flip dog on the left side. So half of us are going to go with the leg up and then flip over. The other half, come to seated on your mat. So everybody really contract your front ribs into center because that's what's going to give you the space to open through your left shoulder. Keep your hand like you've got a pizza platter on it, really pressing open. Stay for 1 more breath. We're going to come back over high plank and into side plank. Look through your top fingertips. This goes for everyone. Pull the front of your pelvis up towards your tail, up towards your belly button. It's going to make your tailbone descend and feel like you're tucking your butt right underneath of you. Stay for a breath as you reach. Exhale, hands to the mat. Come straight through to downward facing dog or chaturanga. See, you've got the options here. Take a breath in. Exhale, right side crescent lunge. Now, if we're working on chest opening today, take your fingertips and interlace them. Press your fingers straight down to the mat. This is going to draw your shoulders back and together. Look up to the ceiling. This drishti point is going to help you find the C shape, which is why it's called crescent lunge, like a crescent moon here. So see if you've got more space to come down in this front lunge. Yeah, you've got it. That's a really good adjustment there. Now bring your eyes straight up to the ceiling. Nice job. Low belly hugs up and in here to support the pose. One more breath. Bring your hands to heart center. Tilt forwards, twist. Now, 3 breaths here. Look for length in this pose. Press back through your heel and reach through the top of your head like you're pulling apart string cheese from either side. Press, press, press for one more breath. On your inhale, twist up, crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Drishti over your front fingertips. Warrior 2 is always the pose where I'm like, ooh, tapas has happened. I don't know what it is, but it's the first pose where I actually notice that I am sweating quite profusely. So come low into the lunge. You got to really tap into the tapas in this pose. And that includes even if your mind is going, I think I hate this a little bit. It's okay. We're only going to stay for 2 more breaths. So get as low as you can for that last one. Extended side angle. Nice job. Reach the top hand overhead. Get as long as you can in the stretch here. Sarah, reach up to me like you're going to give me a high five. Bring it. Oop, does that work that way? No? Okay, good stuff. I'm really glad. Not the bad shoulder. Stay for a final breath and chaturanga or move straight to down dog. See, so anytime you hear an instructor call chaturanga, you always have the option to just come back to down dog instead. Take a breath in. Exhale, left side. Here we go. Get a wide foundation. This pose, especially the lift up, comes a lot easier if you're not worried about falling over side to side. So get your feet out wide here. Now interlace your fingers behind your back. Press them down to the floor. Look to the ceiling. So this pose can feel almost like camel pose in your upper body because your front ribs and your belly have to do all the work so that you can really maintain the lift up and even back. Yeah, Nancy, you've really got this. Stay for one more breath here. See if you can come 1 inch lower into that lunge. Oh yeah, that's a big adjustment. All right, lift up, hands to heart center. Twist to the left. Create all that space for yourself. 3 breaths here. Anchor your drishti, your gaze to one point, and then the breath flow. Find something that's easy about this pose. Typically, the only easy thing I can find is my breath, so stay for one more. On your inhale, rise up, crescent lunge, warrior 2. Nicely done. In warrior 2, check out that your hip points are facing the long end of your mat. So your hips aren't actually facing forwards like this in warrior 2. They're facing out to the side. Then come as low as you can into the pose. Really, when I find the edge of this pose, I'm actually getting a stretch in both of my legs as well. So see if you can find that for yourself. It's going to happen from really focusing on facing your hips towards that long end of the mat. See if you've got 1 more inch in the lunge. I have to say it. Okay, extended side angle. This is my favorite of almost all the poses. Pay attention to your back foot. That's like the powerhouse of this whole pose. Press through the skinny edge of the back of your foot straight down into the mat. Stay for a deep breath in, chaturanga, or straight to down dog. Vinyasa through up dog, into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here. Blow all that air out. One more time. Inhale to exhale, feet to hands. Halfway lift, forward fold. Oh, everybody's got blocks. Bring them with you for chair pose. This is what happens when you guys come prepared. I come prepared. So bring your blocks up between your thighs instead. That's it. Now sit low into chair. What the blocks are going to do in the twists, don't worry, you can do chair as I talk. So what's going to happen is that when you're in the twists, that hug into the block is going to keep your knees from creeping one in front of the other. You want to always have them parallel. So find the deepest hug that you can get. Bring your hands to heart center. Twist to the right. That's it. Pulling your left knee back this time. See if you've got the space to open up your arms. Oh, that's it. Sit really low through your hips. Heart higher than your hips. Lift that chest up. Last breath here. Breathe in. Rise up. Chair pose. Fold. Take your blocks out. Feet to the edges of your mat. Wrap your pointer fingers around your big toes if you've got the space to do that. And let your head hang down. Oftentimes, when I get an injury, for me, that often looks like a migraine. But it's just enough of a bump in the road to totally disrupt my whole class, my whole practice. Sometimes I let it really throw me off course and I hit this little bump and suddenly I just let my whole practice go to shit, to be honest. Yeah, I know, it's 6 a.m. We're allowed to curse at 6 a.m. And also not match, as an FYI. That's okay here. Shirts on backwards, all of that. But the real art of disrupting the drift of your practice, like that normal, see, the automatic part of it, the real trick here is to practice coming apart. Something that's controlled, something that's intentional, instead of falling apart and letting it all disintegrate. You can practice differently. You can try on new things. See if you can't do it by coming apart instead of falling apart. Look at that in your next pose. Blocks up, chair pose. Bring it right in between your thighs. We're gonna go for it on the second set. Sit down low. You gotta get this pose going. Hug into the block. And I really mean that, like with all of your muscles, hug into center line. It's gonna help when you bring your hands to heart center, twist to the left. Go straight for the open arms. You gotta keep your front ribs hugging inside because that keeps a lot of support for your spine. Sit down 2 inches lower in your hips. Nice job, everybody. I see those adjustments. Stay for your last breath here. Inhale, rise, chair pose. Fold. Blocks out. Bring your feet to the edges of your mat. Let your head drop down. You can shake your head yes here and shake your head no. Practice coming apart instead of falling apart. Chair pose. Don't worry, I'm using this as a transition. Chair pose, we're not staying. So sit low into your heels and then sit the whole way down onto your mat. We're going to do crow on our back. Crow on our back. So here's what you want to do. Big toes together, knees out wide. Make your little like Charlie's Angels hands or whatever you want to do, and then point them right between your legs. So what you're going to have happen is as you breathe out, you're going to curl up a little bit. Exhale, come back down. Let's do this 5 times. So 1, 2. Come back. Rock your knees side to side. Release your low back. Do a little like circle with your knees. Come back up to your crow pose. Charlie's Angels hands, 5 pulses. Each time, breathe out. Nice job. Hug your knees into your chest. We're going to rock head to toe 3 times. On this third time, make your way through to down dog. Breath in. Exhale. Come feet to hands. I know, you're like, what are we doing here? One more time. Chair pose. Sit low. I know, I did it just for the bonus chair pose. I'm not going to lie to you. Sit as low as you can into your hips. Roll straight back onto your spine. We're taking right side eagle. Shins parallel to the mat. Right leg wraps over. Right arm wraps underneath. So I love equanimity because it's all about your core strength. Flex your feet. Now hug that top knee down. So you're really pressing your top thigh into the bottom thigh. When you do this, your core is going to activate. You should feel your belly button trying to pull downwards towards the mat. See if you've got that space to press down. Switch sides. Left leg over, left arm under, and it's okay. I get it. Sometimes when you're on your back, the sides don't make any sense. Here, Nancy, take this foot, and then you're going to press it straight into my thigh. So as hard as you can here, press down. Don't worry, I promise I'm not going anywhere. Press through this knee straight. Yeah, you've got it for 5, 4. Don't worry, you can press harder. 3, 2, 1. Switch. Good stuff. Right leg over, right arm under. You know, we do 2 sets of eagle here. Nice adjustments, pulling your elbows up just a smidge there. Now hug your front ribs into center. Low belly pulls down onto the mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Last one. Left leg over, left arm under, feet flexed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go out long on your mat. Arms up, legs long. Take a deep breath in here. Full exhale. I'm coming around with straps for you guys because we're going to do standing leg raise on the ground. David or anybody at home, if you have a strap nearby, perfect. Well, you have one. You can grab that, but a towel, a t-shirt, a bath towel, oh, you have one too. Man, everybody is just getting 2 this morning. That's for you. Oh my gosh. You guys are so prepared. All right. Bring your right knee up into your chest. Now, you can choose, well, actually, no. Bring the strap around the ball mount of your big toes. So you want it right across that meaty part underneath the knuckles of your toes. Bring both sides of your strap into your right hand. Now, with your left hand, I want you to sit this on top of your left hip point. You're looking to keep both sides of your hip flat on the ground. This left hand is just going to help you remember to press down through your left hip. Let your leg drop to the right. Your belly is going to make the control of this. Only go out far enough that you can keep both hips on the mat. Press through your heels, both heels here. Feet active and flexed for 5. Belly should be really active here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your leg into center. Now switch your strap into the left hand. Right hand on your right hip. I know it's on the extended leg. It's a little harder to get there. Now let your leg drop to the left. There should be a huge stretch up the outside of your leg. Breathe here. When you think about this specific muscle, these specific nerves that are giving you lots of feedback right now, if you pay attention and breathe, your breath is going to help relax all of that. Make this stretch a little bit easier on you. Flex your foot, press through your heels, last breath. Come back through to center. Drop your knee into your chest, strap off, and then let your leg go long. Let's start on the left side. Hug your left knee into your chest. Strap around the ball of your foot. Extend your legs straight up to the ceiling. Strap into your left hand. Right hand plants right on top of your right hip. Let your leg fall to the left. Use your belly to control the fall. Really extend it here. Hold that right hip down for 5, 4. Press through your heel. 3, 2, 1. Hug your leg into center. Strap to your right hand. Left hand on your hip. Let your leg fall to the right. Look for the long stretch up the side of your leg. Yeah, you've got this. So leg is actually coming over this way this time. Yeah, you got it. Here, so switch your, that's it. Now, are you getting a stretch up the side of your leg? Yeah, that's it. When you find it, just breathe. Flex your bottom foot. Take one more deep breath here before bringing your leg up into center again. Hug your knee into your chest. Hug both legs into your chest. Straps to the side. Now, rock 3 times, head to toe. I just love exploring equanimity on the ground. It's such good core work. Come to all 4s. So remember do the cat pose that we did earlier. Arch your spine upwards, pressing through your shoulders. Exhale, let your spine drop down, tailbone up, chin up. Come back through to center. Now, the whole goal of this pose is to not get a cat position or a cow position. You want to keep your spine neutral. So hug your front ribs to center, low belly hugs up and in, and then tuck your tailbone just a little bit. From here, extend your right arm straight out. Sometimes that's enough, and you can just hold it there. Extend your left leg. Now, you have to check that your hand and heel don't come up so high that you've got a cow belly, or down so low that you've got a cat belly. See if you can keep it pressing straight out in front of you. Yeah, that's really good, Mary Beth. Flex your front wrist, press through the heel of your hand. Get all that length from side to side. Hug, hug, hug. Bring both hands down and we'll switch sides. Left arm out, left leg out. Keep your chin tucked so that your drishti, your gaze, is set to one point. Really active here. Hug through your ribs for one more breath. Bring both legs down. Half moon. Come and drop your right hand, your right forearm down onto the mat. Your right leg is going to act as the kickstand for this pose to then lift up. Look for your neutral spine here. And stacking both hips one on top of the other. I know this is pretty tricky. Keep your gaze set, drishti to one point. Switch sides. Bring your left arm down, right hand up. David, I promise if you turn your camera on, by the way, I will give you help with your poses if you'd like that. Don't worry, either direction. Press through this top hand, guys. Flex your back foot. David, that goes for you too, even if I can't see you. Stay for one more breath, lift up, bring both hands down. All right, let's go for dancer. So this pose, everybody's got a strap with them, and that doesn't usually happen, so we're gonna do it with a strap today. Come to all 4s again. This is important. Start with your right hand and your left ankle. It has to be opposites or you will fall over. Grab your ankle with your strap and then get a little bit of length here. Press your ankle straight up into the strap and reach your shoulder forwards, your elbow forwards. This is dancer modified so that it's on the ground. Yeah. Flex your top foot, by the way. Otherwise, your strap might go flying off of that foot. Yeah, Mary Beth, you could get a little bit shorter with the strap here. Don't worry, I got you, girl. That's it. Press through this front shin. Oop! Oop! We're going straight over. Don't worry. Listen, guys, if you start to fall out, if you're using a strap or a resistance band, let it go. Just let the strap go. You won't hurt it. Last breath. We'll switch sides. Bring both knees down. I had to learn this the hard way. I was in dancer standing one time using a resistance band, so there's not an easy way to get out of it. I pulled my whole self backwards and fell the whole way down onto my mat. So just let it go. I'll tell you, the crash was not fun. So let the strap go. Let the resistance band go. Also, if you happen to use a resistance band in class for this, no, I have yet to have it hit the face of your neighbor. So don't worry. It's not like a slingshot. It's a little bit like a slingshot, but not really. Front ribs together, low belly hugs up and in. You've got it. Good job. Flex your top foot, Mary Beth. Yeah. You've got this. Don't worry. Take a breath. You've all got it. Stay. Knees down. I think these are fun too. Roll onto your spine. Let's come the whole way back. We're going to take tree pose lying on your spine. So what's going to be important about this tree pose? Set it up like usual, where you've got your foot coming up to your inner thigh. Don't let this right knee drop down to the mat. This is not tree pose. This is just laying here. So what you have to do to really make this an active tree pose is to press your thigh into your foot and then press your foot back into your thigh. There's this deep center line action to be had. See if you can't find it in your body. Yeah, that's it. So right here, hug this ankle straight into my ankle. See if you can't. Oh, yeah. See, all that belly action is happening now. You can either keep your hands at heart center or reach them up overhead. Sometimes the length here is really nice. Press in. Yeah, you've got that. Okay, there we go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Bring your left side up. Let's do it the opposite direction here. Nice job. Flex your feet. Hug into center line. You've got this. Sarah, press your foot against my ankle, straight in. There you go. As hard as you can. Don't worry. Hands at heart center or reach up. You have the option. Stay for 5. Keep breathing. 4. I'm serious about it. 3, 2, 1. Very good job. Hug your knees into your chest. We're going to rock head to toe 3 times. Make your way through downward facing dog into right side triangle. So however you'd like to get there, whether you're really going through down dog or just coming straight to the triangle. It works all of the ways that you can imagine. That's it. Here, bring this front foot out like 4 more inches. You have really long legs here. You've got the space to take up all the stuff on your mat. Here, look. Switch this to the back side of your ankle. Nice job. Create your feet so that they're hugging into center. I mean, like, seriously, you want to do it hard enough that you feel like you could scoot your mat together on both sides and create like a little wrinkle. Press down through the ball mound of your big toe, straight here into the mat. Stay for 2 more breaths. As you press down, lift up through that top hand. Breathe in, rise up through center. Take side facing, wide-legged, forward fold. Now today, this has become a staple in our classes recently. Bring your fingertips and walk them straight out in front of you. Weight into your heels so that you're creating this really long spine from your fingers all the way to your hips. Let your head drop down. Find something that's easy about this pose. Bring a little bit of bend to your knees. I always like to make sure my big toes are facing in towards my head just a little bit. When you do this, it switches where the length, the stretch is coming from, switches it into the outsides of your legs. Sometimes that can feel really good. Let your head and chest drop for 1 more breath. Walk your fingers around to the front of your mat. We're going to take half split or full split. So come down here onto your knees, and everybody scooch forwards like 5 inches so that your front heel is off the end of your mat. Now, what I want you to do is you can wrap your strap, a towel, whatever it is, up, and that's going to sit right underneath of your front heel. This is important. Having something that you can slide on. David at home, a carpet, some socks, wood floor, always great for this pose, because you want to start in a half split here. Now, all of these rules go for however deep you get into the pose. Pay attention to pulling your right hip crease back. That's really going to lengthen the backside of your leg, but also what it does is keep your center of gravity straight up and down over the center of the pose. So if you started to feel really confident here, well, maybe not really confident. I don't know anybody that feels really confident in the split. But your front heel is off the end of the mat so that you can start to eke that front heel forwards. Every time you press out through your heel, make sure that you then do the counteraction of pulling back through your hip to keep your hips square. When we get out to the moment that you have something that's closer to a full split, usually what we see is people dropping all their weight to one side. So suddenly you've got this super off-center split. You see my weight is not over the center of the pose at all. This is why you might like a block underneath of this leg, because it'll help keep you right over center line. Think about drawing your right hip crease back. Flex your front foot. Take a breath. And then bring all your weight to the right side. Drop out of the pose. And we'll switch into left side triangle. So you can go straight from down dog into triangle on the left. You got this? Just all sweat. Okay, good stuff. Yeah. I'm going to grab you a hand towel. You guys stay in triangle. Don't worry. I'm just going to be right outside the door. Take a breath. David at home, you're going to hear me run over to the back of the studio so that I can grab a hand towel. I kind of love this moment of getting to have my virtual students online as well, because I get to have you guys with me, and then you get this, like, I don't know, maybe private moment in the class. I think it's fun. Okay, and we're back. You get a hand towel. And if you keep slipping, don't worry, I can grab you yogi toes too. These yogi toes, like Mary Beth has with the little dots underneath, yeah, you've got one too, are super helpful. If you feel your mat starting to get slick, that might be something that's good for your practice. On your inhale, rise up, take side facing, wide-legged forward fold. Now, everybody in this fold, bring your hands down right in front of your feet. From here, I press some weight down into the heels of my hands, and it helps pull my upper body down. So as you're pressing out through your palms and down through your fingertips, you'll notice that you've got a little bit more space here to fold. I also kind of like this for the upper back prep for handstands. It's not a very aggressive prep. It's really light, actually, but it does sort of teach you the way that your shoulders interlace with your lat muscles, those big muscles down the outside of your body. If you see somebody who goes to the gym like a lot, and they kind of look like a Dorito chip, they've got that really like triangular upper body, that's the Dorito chip part. And I don't mean that in a bad way, by the way. It's just the best description that I can think of. A Dorito chip. A Dorito, like a triangle. Well, oh my God. Listen, we love all the snacks here. You're allowed to be a Twizzler, an Oreo, a Dorito. I personally prefer a Twizzler. I'm not going to lie, they're very good. On your inhale, rise to standing. I mean, it makes sense. We've got Hershey's chocolate and the Twizzler factory right here in Lancaster. We're down at half splits. Come onto your knees, and then we're going to try the left side. Scooch the whole way to the front of your mat. Yes, I know. Front heel off and onto something that slides. Now, since we've just got a handful of us in the studio, what this means is that I have so many extra blocks and things, which is great because this pose can be super powered with an extra block or two. So that's for you. Kelly, that's for you. Hello for you, for you. One more moment. So I'm going to show you the power of 2 blocks. Having the right tools in this practice is really everything. I'm going to make a huge mess. It's okay. That's for you. Okay. So the power of the 2 blocks. I'm actually demoing with 3, and I meant this on purpose. Other leg. So 2 blocks underneath of your hands can really help determine how far out you slide into the split because it determines how much weight you're putting down here. See how when I press my hands down, I come up a little bit, but it means that I can get deeper into the split without having so much weight pressing down. I love the 3rd block here because the 3rd block can be used to make a big stand underneath your front leg. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see better. A big stand underneath your front leg, or you can drop it down to really whatever height works for you. No matter what, use the blocks to continue to bring your weight directly over the pose. That's it. Mary Beth, pull back right through this hip crease. That's it. Nancy, the same for you. See if you can bring your weight to the right just a little bit. Yeah, there over center, pressing back right through the top of this thigh. It should feel like you're pulling the bones of your thigh deeper into the sock, the joint at your pelvis. Flex that front foot one more time. Sit onto your right side, come out the whole way of the pose. Oh yeah, I know. See, this is the thing about the 6 a.m. classes. We have a deal here. You don't have to match in the morning. It's okay if you come in half asleep. It's also okay if you have to moan and groan because your body has a lot to say at 6 a.m. Roll the whole way, actually onto your belly. So this is a new fave of mine. We're going to come to a forearm plank. So your forearm plank can happen with your knees on the ground or lift them up. From here, we're going to press your belly down, come to a little cobra. And on your exhale, come back up into your forearm plank, pulling your belly up just a little bit. So you've got a slightly rounded spine. Inhale, come down, cobra. Exhale, back up. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back up. Inhale, cobra. Are you guys feeling this in your abs yet? Exhale, back up. See? Inhale, cobra. Exhale, up. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, up. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, up. Last time, inhale, cobra. Exhale, back up. You got it. Hug your belly up and in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. Let's come to a locust pose. Hands out wide. Press your heels back. Lift up. Locust. Round 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Back up. Second set. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Take floor bow. Both hands are one hand. Feet flex. Press your shins back. That's it. Hug for 5, 4. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Come down onto your mat. Knees side to side. We'll do one last set here. Floor bow. Hands by the edges of your feet. Press back for 5. Breathe. 4. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1, and down. Take upward facing dog. Lift straight through your shoulders, knees down. Sit down onto your knees. Roll the whole way back onto your spine. Let's take bridge pose. Press your heels into the mat. Lift your hips up. Look to tuck your shoulders underneath of yourself. Get all the space that you can here. Big chest stretch. Inhale. Come down on your exhale. Knock your knees side to side. Let's do round 2. Press your heels down. Lift your hips up. Second set, bridge pose. Come back down. Now knock your knees side to side. We have one wheel opportunity here. If you want to go for it, you can. Ready, set, go. Press, lift, move, bridge, or wheel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together. One hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Take happy baby. Rock right to left, left to right. All of the options feel pretty good right here. Hug your knees into your chest. Let them drop to the left side of your body, eyes over your right shoulder. Supine twist. Drop your knees to the opposite side of your body, eyes over your opposite shoulder. Knees into chest one more time. Take Shavasana with your legs out long, eyes closed. Cold eye towel by the upper right hand corner of your mat. Someone once asked, "What is heaven?" Heaven is like the mustard seed. Though the mustard seed is among the tiniest of seeds, he explained, it one day grows into the largest of trees. Like heaven, and like us, its potential is vast. We are all like this tiny seed. We all have flashes of awareness in which we realize that who we are in all of our smallness has essentially to break apart in order for a new self to emerge. It's as though something whispers in our ear, "I can't continue this way." Those moments can panic us into reaching out for another false balm, a drink, a drug, a snack, a pat on the back, a chocolate, whatever it might be. Or they can light the sparks of revolution and be catalysts for us to break apart so that we may emerge, like a seed becoming a tree, into a wholly new form. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out. Take one more inhale and exhale. Fingers and toes. Hug your knees into your chest. Make your way onto the right side of your body. Press your forehead on the mat. Make your way up to a seated position. Inhale, fingertips up to the ceiling. And exhale down, hands to your chest. We'll close class with one Om this morning. Take a breath in. Thumb knuckles up to forehead center. Together, we bow our heads and we say, Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for showing up this morning. I hope you learned a lot doing the practice without chaturangas. Again, this is like accessible to you in any class. You can modify any poses, whichever way that feels best for your body. So when you see somebody in another version of the pose, or if you know another version of the pose that would feel better, don't be afraid to take that on. And yes, I know I've distributed a lot of things today. Thank you, Nancy. You guys can just leave them right here. I'll take care of them. We ended 4 minutes later than I expected to. So I want to make sure that you guys can get where you need to go for your day. David, it was awesome to see you online. Thank you for joining us. And everybody else who might take this class in the future, thank you for joining us as well. It's awesome to get to see you. Thank you. Oh, the